Hello everyone, this is Motbot. This is my Medieval Let's Build, and this is episode 1. So I've already started building. You can see, a church up there, and I've got the kind of entrance way going on here, as well as a little uh, bit of work done in the actual town itself. So I've just kind of been working on this alone over the past few days, and after I show off what I've done so far, I will start to do an actual Let's Build, the actual building um, of the different places. But for now, I just want to show off what I've already gotten. So I have this kind of entrance wall to kind of, have fortification from the river. This will be extended too, but this is just kind of out the front right now. But this is something that I really like, and in the kind of lighting that I'm going with right now. And by the way, this is the Ovo's Rustic Redemption texture pack, completely unmodified. And a link to that will be in the description. But yeah, I think it looks really nice. You can kind of see this. Well, this is oak wood here on the wall, and then right below this, right here. Oh, it's probably really dark. Let's go like that. There's spruce wood in the water, so it makes it look kind of like the water has weathered it a little bit. But let's hop in here. And so, nice little kind of entrance and a little bit more texture in the ground using furnaces next to the cobblestone. But just a little well over here, which I think is fairly decent. It's nothing horribly over the top impressive, but I had this like giant open cobblestone place, so I thought I would do something like that. Um, Obviously, a church up on the hill, and that'll be another episode, but it's there right now. And this is just the kind of town square that I have right now. So a little, a little food booth, buy like fish, apples, or watermelon, and that was kind of specifically there for this thing. Um, Public shaming, and then slicey on their head. Designed this guillotine kind of as a joke at first. I was like, oh, maybe put something horribly violent in here, but I kind of like it actually. I think as far as guillotines go, this actually looks pretty nice. The iron bars making it look like a blade, kind of like diagonally like that, I think looks really nice. And then using beacons for lighting on the pillars next to it, I think really adds to the effect. And then just this little bit of texture up here, having that little hole, makes it feel kind of custom instead of just a flat wall like that. And obviously the place for their head right there. And I was debating putting like a chair or something back here for them to sit in, or like a bench to lean on, but I could not really get anything that looked very good. And then just kind of like a natural area right here. It wasn't really big enough to put any kind of stores or anything. And actually it's best from back here if you see it, because then you can't see the glowstone down in the water. And there's jack-o'-lanterns underneath those bushes there. But using the reeds and the kind of just spamming bone meal and a few flowers dotted about and plenty of water makes it look real natural. And like I said, there's no real place to put any kind of like building that would look good in there. And it's kind of hilly. That's why the stairs are up there for the road, which I actually quite like, using the stone bricks right there. And so yeah, it makes it look kind of natural, and it's probably the best thing that would be suited there compared to much anything else. Another thing I think is good. Wow, that was like a huge like genocide of words right there. Uh, is this little step down into this area, and then having the stone brick raised up on the side, so it's not big enough to jump out, but then having these stairs adds just kind of like another whole dimension to it. Like you walk into it and being lowered, and it also allows for this water to be kind of waterfally right there. But the main building that I want to show in this episode is the one you're looking at right now. And I think this is in a really good location. It fits right underneath the top of this hill right here. And it's got this little bend over. And then the road just kind of leads straight through this valley. There's another building right there. That'll be the next episode. And then the road leads right back up there. And there'd be like really good place right here, I think, too, for a building. But having these things spaced out, kind of like 10-ish blocks, and then like on opposite sides of the road and looking fairly similar, I think is a nice touch. But these are distinguishable. This has the different roof than that, and it just depends on the type of building that I went with. So this is a pub, very, very important in medieval times. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think the outside looks pretty nice. Having the cobblestone walls up on the side to add some texture. Another thing I don't like really is how it's like kind of like the half wall compared to this the stair right there. Same goes for this stair and the glass pane. If you look at it, it's like just on the outside of that step. Probably shouldn't be pointing out the minor flaws and make it look just a bit better, you know, in the eye of the beholder, I guess. But I do quite like it. It's not horribly noticeable, especially like looking at it like this. It looks like completely flush, so that's definitely nice. And I like these little wooden arches that go out too. Not really arches, but they're like arms to hold the sign. I think that looks quite nice, and you can fit under it quite plain as well, or quite normally. Quite plain, that's weird. So the door, this is a spruce door, 1.8 feature, and looks really, really nice in this texture pack. I really like having that like metal knocker and the iron bars going across. But if you come in here, it's got a cozy feel to it. The ceiling just being kind of grayish, but it kind of adds to the darkness, which I quite like. And then having a darker floor as well. And then plenty of cobblestone and wood, prime building materials back then. And I wanted to incorporate some hay, but I don't think this is the right building to do that. I think that would be better suited in like a cottage or something. But yeah, so it keeps the cozy feel without being much too cramped. Having all the little chairs and tables off to the side here, and then keeping the center open but not horribly big, so it's not like this giant expansive area, which kind of gets rid of the kind of cozy effect which you would see in a bar, but it doesn't make it too cramped. You know, you can still walk around and you have plenty of room to see everything, which probably one of my favorite features of this. But also, so like you see, the windows are in the wall here, and you can see like wood, cobble, window, cobble, wood. And I was going to do that over here, except if you pop out here and we look at the side of this, it's a mountain. So, oh, I fell. So having a window right there really wouldn't make much sense to just be looking straight into mountainside, so that wouldn't be horribly beautiful. So I added some bookcases, which is fairly ironic because I don't think they were really able to read back in medieval ages, but I think it really does look nice. It kind of matches the rest of the place, and I think it's more about the shelving than anything. Like the books, I mean, if you stand back and you're just like walking like this, you can kind of notice it's a bookcase, but it almost feels like it's more along the lines of this up here. And it's just a shelf with a blue orchid in it, as well as a skull. And you can hop up here, you can actually see the teeth on it, but you can't from down here, which is, I think, good, because like I don't really like the way the teeth look. I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like it should have a bottom to it, you know? So, it's something I quite like. I like the nose and the eyes, though. That's very smooth, which I think adds quite a bit to the texture. Um, yeah, I mean, it's nice, you know? And then using the carpets also to cover up the top textures to separate them from the rest of the place looks nice. Like having that little stair, so it looks like you could fit your feet under there if you were sitting at these bar stools. And at first I had used brown on top of these bar stools as well, but having brown on the table here and the counter here, it just kind of clashed really, really weird. So instead I went with the gray, and I think that looks better because it'd be like a leather seating, or like a gray horsehide. So definitely looks, in my opinion, pretty nice. But of course, let me know what you think. If there's anything I could change, please let me know, because I definitely do want to add it. And if we hop in here, and I'm trying to get used to this F1 screen, not being able to see my my crosshairs. But from the bartender's point of view, you know, there's like oh, I don't even know what these are called, like beer nozzles, I guess, like keg taps on the side of the wall here, and then pointing down. You know, default they're like that. So if they're like this, it actually looks like you could like fill a mug or something. And then back here, I went with some shelving, just some very, very basic stone brick stairs, but definitely adds a lot. It's definitely just horribly much better than just like cobblestone. And I didn't want to copy this side and put another shelf there, because that would look, I think, too symmetric. You know, you don't want to have like perfect symmetry, because then it looks pretty like unnatural and not something that you might actually see. So doing these two different types of shelves, I think, really did add a lot, and I'm quite proud of it. So the only thing I think I wish I might have done different is that stone brick right there. But from the outside, I mean, I like having that stair there, and I think maybe having cobble there would be too much cobble, so maybe it just breaks up the texture a bit. But let me know if you think it's a big deal, because like I said, I'm completely open to changing anything. And maybe if there's something else I could do with the floor, because right now this is just spruce wood. That's dark oak right there for the rest of it, like for this little like beam across the bottom here, and for the counter, as well as that shelf. I believe, no, that shelf is spruce wood. So dark oak would be out. oak is a possibility, but I think birch would be far too light, and jungle does not necessarily look that great. So let me know if you think oak would look better. But I quite like the spruce. Again, it adds to the darkness, which makes this place feel much cozier, and it is pretty close to the texture of this oak log here. The door is definitely the best door, I think. The other not opportunity, the other choice really would have been like this or this. And I can just pop these down here so you can see. One, two, I'm using the number pad to, oop, go away. There. So these are the other two options. Jeez, I can't talk worth anything right now. This is nice, but I don't really know if I like being able to see through it. I feel like that would be more like a cottage home. And this, honestly, to me, looks more like a fence. And I think it's supposed to be a fence because it's got those little holes in it. So that's out, and this is probably out. I might use it in like a garden or something, maybe find a way to make it look good. But yeah, generally I don't really like the way that looks. I thought at first it would look pretty cool because, it's like planked, but then I decided that that is much better. So of course, let me know what you think. But anyways, this has been Mopbot, and I'm out.